Is Delta Force's approach to monetization not only overly aggressive and predatory in nature, but possibly even pay to win to some degree, giving players an unfair advantage, despite the devs, Team Jade's stated opposition to those practices? Welcome back to another video, guys, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whether you celebrate it or not. I hope you guys are having a lovely, relaxing time with your family. However, what we're talking about today definitely doesn't jam with the spirit of Christmas and giving in my book, with some of these skins costing upwards of $200. So first off, let me just say that I've been having a fantastic time playing Delta Force. Overall, it is a great experience, and I don't think anyone should necessarily shy away from it solely due to these monetization issues. There are still a lot of things I'd like to see change with the game, but as a Battlefield fan, I wasn't really expecting anything between 2042 and the next game in the series, so this has been a welcome distraction so far. What's more, it's free to play, which means it has to make money via microtransactions. So let's go through Delta Force's monetization scheme here, starting with the least aggressive one. So most of these are fairly regular run-of-the-mill packs. They cost around $30 or 2,400 coins, but note that you can only buy 1,480 coins for $20 or 3,950 coins for $50. So you need 2,400, then you need to buy the $50 pack of coins, which leaves you with too few to buy a second pack, and in that way you're sort of coaxed into buying even more coins and another cosmetic pack. This is pretty normal stuff for any free-to-play game. We see it in all online stores. But the good news is you can see exactly what you're buying, and if you don't want to buy them, you don't have to. Some of these packs even go for as much as 5,200 coins, or a whopping $70, like this pack here with a special knife in it, which I might add plays an annoying cinematic every time you scroll over it, which is now sitting at the price of a brand new AAA title, ladies and gents. Why somebody would want to spend that on a skin pack is beyond me, but to each their own. I'm not judging. In fact, I have spent some money on this game. I bought the Battle Pass, which I do think is a good value for money, coming in at just under $10 if I recall, and I think that's fair. Every season I'll pay you $10 for the Battle Pass. Think of it like a monthly subscription, because I'm having fun with the game and I enjoy it. I don't have any problem throwing some money to the developers of a free-to-play title if I'm having fun in it. But then we come to the microtransactions that, to me, are just trying to milk people too hard, and Delta Force calls these research. These are the coolest looking skins in the game. They've even got a special soundtrack that plays in the background of these pages, which, by the way, you can't turn off even if you have the music disabled in the game, so I'm going to mute it for your viewing pleasure. And at the moment we have two of these. The first is this honestly amazing looking transparent M4A1 skin. I can certainly see how a lot of folks would be tempted to spend on this. However, instead of having a set price like the rest of the skin packs, this one is a loot box system, only they call them mandel bricks. Something that most games have started to shy away from in recent years due to new legislation that came into place in mostly European countries, I believe, because it is essentially considered gambling. So you have a small percentage chance to acquire this transparent skin whenever you open one of these mandel bricks. But you'll notice it doesn't tell you what the chances are, and as you can see, there are plenty of less rare, less valuable skins that you could and probably will get instead, and you can get duplicates here as well. So that means that potentially you could have to open it 75 times, at which point you are then guaranteed the legendary skin to drop. Now, to open one of these boxes, you will need a mandel brick, which can be obtained through operations if you're lucky, or even the odd one for doing well in the warfare mode. But in all my 100 hours I've played so far, I've had 4. Then you need a quantum key to open it, and I've had about 4 of those as well. Now, you can of course buy more of these keys in the store, which go for 60 coins each, or about $1, and then you can buy the mandel bricks from other players on an in-game market for 212 coins is the average at the moment, so that's 272 coins each roll in total, which is roughly $2.72. It doesn't sound like a lot, really, does it, to have a roll on getting this weapon, but if you multiply that by 75, you get a whopping $204. Now, you may not have to pay that much. Maybe you only pay $150 or you pay $100 and you get the skin. But this is nevertheless an extremely exploitative, predatory business model that targets vulnerable consumers. You may think it's whales who have a ton of money to throw at the game who buy these things, and they certainly do, but there are also plenty of people out there who have a weakness for gambling, and they can't even play a video game these days without being exposed to it. But now we come to the operator skin that's kicking up a bit of a fuss, the newest one, the Subrosa skin for D-Wolf. For this one, you need to buy operator cards directly from the store for 100 coins each, and then you roll your chance on getting this skin, which has a 0.08% chance to drop. However, if you get one of the other 7 items, that will cross it off the list, and you can't get another duplicate. So you only need to roll this bundle a maximum of 8 times to get this skin. And if you happen to get the skin before your 8th roll, you will also get all the other items in the bundle for free. However, the amount of cards you need to roll go up along with the chance of actually getting the skin. So if you need all 8 rolls and we add these cards together, that makes 110 cards, which will cost you 11,000 coins, which is about $150. And clearly you can see that as you spend more and more on these cards and get closer and closer to getting that skin as the other items disappear, you won't want to throw away your progress, right? And you'll think, just a few more, and maybe I'll get it on the next roll. What's even worse here is how they try to hide the information that I've just told you from the player. What you see when you look at this screen is a big shiny button saying open, where you're prompted to buy the cards and use them. If you click the well-located details button, it gives you a shiny showcase of items you may receive, but notably no details at all. If you want to find the actual details, you need to go to this tiny question mark that sits rather inconspicuously off to the side of some text and isn't very visible at all. Oh, and by the way, I get hit with a splash screen for this skin every single time I log into the game, so I could really do without that, to be honest. But all of that said, guys, that may not even be the worst part, because it looks like this skin may give you some advantage in the operation mode. So shout out to Hebe over on Twitter. He put together a really good thread detailing his experiences there. And as he rightly points out, the operations mode is very high stakes with a huge map with tons of angles and hiding spots where visual clarity is absolutely key. And the devs clearly realized this because they made the operators in this mode wear these green army shirts, which are contrast boosted in the game to give them better visibility. And so you can tell them apart from the NPCs, right? The Ashara guards, they wear black, the Havoc guards wear blue, and the operators are green. They don't look anything like they look in the warfare mode where they're wearing a lot darker black colors. However, the Subrosa skin, that one that costs upwards of $150, is a dark black, and it also overrides all your gear. So here's an example of somebody peeking Hebe with the Subrosa skin on a head glitch window, and you really can't see them at all. And as a result of that, he died here, not realizing that he was being peeked. And here's somebody peeking from a window where their head is clearly unmasked. They're just wearing regular gear, and they are much more visible. Now, I don't really play operations, so this isn't something that has ever really occurred to me or something that I've experienced. But I think he does make a good point here. It does certainly look as though it gives you an unfair advantage. And that, therefore, is by definition pay to win by some degree, which is something, as we know, that the devs have constantly said that their cosmetics were not going to have. With all of that outlined, I think it's fair to say that these kind of microtransactions are far from consumer friendly and just grossly overpriced. Like $200 for once? Like, are you kidding me? You know, I have no doubt in my mind that the devs are not directly behind this. It is almost certainly pressure put on them by Tencent to monetize the game. We've all seen it before. Top management puts on pressure to grow revenue, and if nobody is there to question the morality or the impact on players, or those who do simply give up the fight for fear of being fired or whatever, this kind of stuff makes its way into games. So why am I making this video? I don't really have any hope that they're going to change their monetization schemes. I think these things will continue to be in the game, but it's just a bit of a PSA, really, just to warn you guys off of how predatory these systems in Delta Force are and what effect they can have on the game. Of course, by all means, if you have the money and want to spend it on gambling away at the chance for an in-game skin, that's up to you. I'm certainly not going to judge you for it, but personally, it's not something that I will ever spend my money on. However, I would be interested to hear your take on it, guys. What do you think of this as a business practice in general? What do you think of the in-game ramifications of this? Do you think these skins are worth these insane amounts of money? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.